Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking. It is time for a haircut. I've acknowledged that, so no need to comment about it. Thank you very much. I just got back from the BDU Epic Shoot 2020. That's Big Daddy Unlimited. They hosted a really cool range day for YouTubers, Instagrammers, and just people in industry to meet people in industry to kind of just exchange some business cards, shoot some stuff, and all that fun stuff. So SHOT Show is canceled for 2021, which kind of is a bummer, but nah, whatever. This is a bit better. It's much smaller, and I can shoot other people's ammo, and that's always a good time. So I'm looking at some of the footage here. I'm about to start editing it, but I figured I'd kind of walk you through here because I didn't really vlog the experience because I'm a terrible vlogger. So I try to organize it in some sense, but really I'm just gonna show you guys some footage, kind of tell you guys what I thought about some stuff. For the most part, I liked everything because, well, I'm just that easy. Before we get rolling into the range footage, I just want to give a big thanks to, of course, naturally, BDU, Big Daddy Unlimited. This is the BDU Epic Shoot after all. I knew they were an awesome company before, but after meeting some of the employees, seeing the founders there, the whole atmosphere of the range day, they're freaking awesome. I love BDU, man. So anyway, they're a big help of the channel, Big Daddy Unlimited. I'm sure you guys know, but just in case you don't, online gun retailer, and they sell gun accessories as well for under MSRP, of course, but then under online fair retail pricing, because you get that by way of paying a membership. It's $9.99 a month. You can get your first month for 99 cents. And lastly, big thanks to Goat Guns for sponsoring this video as well. I actually got my hands on this right here, which is the Goat Guns SVD in my BDU swag bag. What they are replica guns that are very, very functional as far as moving parts. The magazine rocks out as well. You actually have little rounds in there that you could take out and reload, rock it back in place very realistically. Charging handle, the thing can field strip, fire selector, bipod, everything about it. It's actually even threaded if you want to take off the flash hider. They got M82s, M4s, M16s, gold AKs, so many other guns, 1911s even. Now just be careful because I saw a video from Scott, Kentucky Ballistics. He said if you add water, they grow. I thought that was bullcrap. I tried it out. It's actually true, so be careful. So starting off strong with the Daniel Defense Delta 5 Pro. It's their bolt action precision rifle. To be honest, I've never owned or shot anything from Daniel Defense prior to this, and now I know about the Delta 5 Pro. To tell you about it, not gonna lie, kind of sucks. Okay, no, I'm kidding. It's actually a pretty sweet rifle. I tried one out in 6.5 Creedmoor. Unfortunately, that one was way out of zero, but that's not the gun's fault. But hey, I could shoot it blindfoldedly and kind of give you a taste test. Felt pretty good. Then I shot a 6mm Creedmoor, and I had a spotter helping me out go from like 200 to 520 yards. Yeah, that's child's play for a 6mm Creedmoor precision rifle. But you know, just to go through the motion, see what it's like, quite like it. What I realized is I've never shot a 6mm Creedmoor, no recoil at all, but this system actually did really well. I like the bolt itself, very clean action. Daniel Defense does guarantee 0.5, that's half MOA accuracy. Price point, $2,500. You could add another $174, I believe, for a Cerakote. That's olive drab green or FDE. After looking at the olive drab, I think I would take a 6mm in olive drab green. Pretty cool setup.
Okay, I'm so short, I just did it.
Oh, yeah.
Were people sitting on this? I see why that was there now. I'm like, I feel like I'm 12.
Impact. All right, move back to the next set. Impact. You're gonna move back to the next set. There's a large circle. Tag, very good. You're gonna move to the back berm, and the far right is a silhouette. You got one more. Impact, very nice.
Is that at 500?
545.
525, cool. Next rifle I was super pumped about when they announced it, and obviously very excited to shoot it. That is the Springfield Armory 2020 Waypoint, their first bolt action gun. So from my understanding, the 2020 is the action. The Waypoint is this model itself. So I'd imagine the 2020 lineup from Springfield Armory is gonna grow quite a bit. Maybe more hunting oriented, maybe more bench rest, long range oriented. We'll see, but to start off with the Waypoint, they really hit the ground running. And I'll kind of keep the information surface level on this because, to be honest, I want to get my hands on it pretty soon here. I really dig it. What it is I believe it's AE Composites, carbon fiber stock with a bunch of flush cup QD mounts just all over the place. I shot one in 6.5 Creedmoor, which I believe is the way I would take one. There's also 6.5 PRC, which seems cool, but price per round right now is kind of crazy. But I believe there's 6.5 PRC, 6.5 Creedmoor, 308. I might be forgetting one, might not. Anyway, as far as your barrel, you could get a fluted steel barrel or you could get a carbon fiber wrapped barrel. So it starts out at about $1,700. All tricked out, you're about $2,400, and you can't build that gun for less than that.
Keep them all in, then I'm gonna give it to you.
There it is. Nice. gun.
Next stop, went over to Steyr, shot their SSG M1. Quite a bougie setup, man. It's pretty darn trick. It was 338 Lapua on this configuration, suppressed. That was my first time shooting 338 Lapua Magnum suppressed, which is fun. So yeah, I was only shooting from like 50 yards, which is kind of hilarious. And the steel wasn't 338 Lapua Magnum rated, so I was just sending some 338 pills into the dirt. Just kind of going through the motion. Anyway, very buttery, smooth action, felt awesome. This rifle is a convertible, which is kind of the thing now. You can change out the barrel, bolt head, magazine. I think the magazine might need an adapter if you're going to a short action to get back into the chassis. But yeah, you can totally change out your caliber, which is, again, kind of the thing now on Premier rifles. Speaking of Premier, price point, $10,000. Anyway. We'll probably circle back to some bolt guns in just a little bit here, but since I'm over at Steyr, had to shoot the AUG. This is a gun that I wanted before I've ever shot it. Now that I've shot it, I want it even more, but with 2020 being the year it is, it's just kind of tough to find right now. But you bet before too long, I'd like to get my hands on this in some way or another. But yeah, very cool gun. I'm not too experienced with bullpups, as you'll be able to see here. I tried to put the mag in front of my trigger hand, ended up finding its place, and I quite like it. The trigger, surprisingly, was very, very good. The older design being a bullpup, I'm used to bullpups just having really crap triggers. Might as well call the trigger Joe Biden because it's very creepy. This one was a little heavier than an AR, but very, very crisp. I like the trigger. What surprised me is when you get a bullpup, you're doing that to get like a shorter condensed form factor, and that's what I thought I was having here. Turns out this barrel was an 18-inch barrel with quite the flash hider on there. So that's actually lengthier than it would otherwise be if I got a 16-inch barrel, but very, very cool. Again, that's all the info I'll say on that. Other than that, it's $2,000 roughly if you can find one. All right, next stop was pretty brief. I went over to Stag. They're known for making like left-hand friendly ARs with the ejection port off to the left, so you're not getting pelted with hot brass if you're a lefty. So for my lefties out there, check them out. But I didn't shoot that one. I shot the PXC9, which is a little 9mm. They have it in rifle configuration. I shot the pistol configuration. Almost forgot to mention, I'm going to try to give you guys the prices on all these. This one, MSRP is for roughly $1,500 from when I saw the website, so there you go.
I'm calling for steel to me. That's most of the problem. That's a good deal.
Next stop was at Diamondback Firearms. I've heard of them before, certainly, but I haven't really, looked into their selection of firearms. There's one that really, really stood out to me, though. It's a little bittersweet. Nothing about the gun bitter. I'll explain. The gun itself is just freaking awesome. It's this one right here. It's called the DBX. But the big thing with this is it's chambered in 5.7 by 28, which is just a really freaking cool round. I've only shot a few times, but what ends up happening is you got a little PCC type gun. The bullet gets there really freaking fast. I'm shooting at 50 yards here. Just take a listen to the sound delay between this and the previous Stag 9mm.
Can't even tell if it's hitting Mario out there.
I'm calling for steel.
The gun itself felt more premier than the price point. The price itself is just over $1,100. So you're kind of like Strybog territory, and the Strybog is known to be the kind of like working man's PCC. And I love the Strybog. And where I was getting, though, the only bitter thing is the thing that makes it so cool, and that is the fact that it's chambered in 5.7 by 28. And at the moment, even before 2020, that's always been a really expensive round. Right now, good luck trying to find that for under 50 cents a round. It's more so around $1 a shot, and even then, it's out of stock everywhere. That doesn't change the fact that I really, really want one.
Can't even tell if it's hitting Mario out there. It's a little snug for me.
Oh yeah. You might just want to shoot it like a pistol.
All right, so next up was at Kalashnikov USA. Very, very cool AKs over there. Not gonna lie, my knowledge on AKs is not even surface level. I just know they look cool and they shoot great, and I like shooting them. But the reason I don't have too many of them is just because I just don't know that much about them, and I don't feel like I'm gonna get the wrong one. First one I shot was the KR-103. I don't totally know what this means, but the guy I was talking to was very, very proud of the fact that it's a true 103 design. so yeah, very, very cool AK. I like the look of it, like the way it shoots, and that's enough for me. I think they'll sell for around $1,100 if they're ever in stock, which they're not. 100% US made, very cool stuff. So let's transition from that. Let's go over to one chambered in 9mm. That is the KR9S. Now this one's interesting. It has a faux suppressor, which at first I was like, what the heck is this for? And still, it's not totally my thing. However, I understand the fake suppressor makes this to where it's a rifle configuration, so you don't need a brace, and you can put a vertical grip if you wanted to, but anyway, I like it like this. But this makes it to where the overall length is that of a rifle. You can't take that suppressor off, and it's not even a real suppressor. That said, it's a really, really cool gun to show off on Instagram, but yeah, you'll definitely need hearing protection, so it's just kind of,
Yeah, so
don't get me wrong, you could also get pistol configurations, and that's probably the way I would rock, with a shorter barrel without the faux suppressor, and just put a real suppressor on that. That's the way I'd do it. Price point on this guy is just about $1,100 as well if they're in stock. I don't know if they are. Century Arms is making something that's like an MP5. They call it the AP5, which is supposedly a lower price point MP5. How low? I do not know. I asked, and they're saying roughly about $2,000. Street price would probably be less if things calm back down. On the polar opposite end, financially, we've got something called S.W.O.R.D International. Not your entry-level price point stuff, and you know what, that's okay by me. Very, very cool guns. I ended up only shooting like, I think, what was it, Mark 17, which is a 6.5 Creedmoor, medium to long range kind of SPR, special purpose rifle type configuration, but they make other stuff as well. Very cool stuff. They also, I got some B-roll of this, I didn't shoot it. They got an AR that shoots a 338 Lapua Magnum. If you just, you know, hate having money in your savings account, that's the way to do it. Just dump all those rounds on a semi-auto. But very, very cool proposition once again. As far as the gun itself, it's got a piston-driven gas system and an OSS suppressor, but that's just something that they had thrown on there. That combined, this thing runs fantastic. I heard so many wonders about OSS suppressors. I haven't tried them prior to this. But this thing runs so clean with that piston-driven gas system. I liked it, man. It felt like the confidence of a bolt gun, but on an auto loader, very cool. Other stuff about it: side charging handle, non-reciprocating, bolt release on the bottom like an ACR. You could actually push up on it and lock the bolt just like an ACR. Get ready for this though. MSRP right around $3,900. So there you go. All right, next stop is a little trouble spot for me, kind of like with SHOT Show earlier in January. When I went there, I went to go make connections, and instead I just found out where I'm just gonna spend my money. I was doing pretty good at the BDU shoot until I went over to Landon Tactical, and I saw their Beretta with an optic cut. And now I'm just gonna have to go broke once more. I really dig this, man. If you guys don't know, I love Beretta 92 variants. I have an M9A3, and I've got like an old, like Italian police buyback gun. I just like the all metal hammer fire, you know, gun full size. It just feels great. But I also really like red dots on guns. I've grown to like that a lot in the last 2 years. Double action feels much, much better than a stock gun. The reset's unbelievable. I'm sure there's more bits and bobs to it, but mainly the fact that it's cut for an optic now, so you can just throw that plate on there. Price point just depends. You could, at the very least, send in your existing 92, send it over, and they could do some work to it. Otherwise, you could also just buy the slide, or you could buy a full gun. Full gun, $1,500, maybe $2,000 without the optic. So, you know, it just kind of depends. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go broke pretty soon here. We'll see. We'll see. Nearing the end here, saw some suppressor manufacturers. First off at SilencerCo. Let's start off with the, what is that, the Salvo 12 gauge shotgun with the suppressor. Yes, please. I've seen these. I've not shot one. So got some shots. I think 3 shots with one here on a semi-auto 12 gauge. Oh yeah. Next was the Omega 36M, which is this guy. This one blew me away actually. So I didn't know this while I was shooting this. This is a bolt action 308, and I pulled my hearing back and it sounded like my 308 suppressor shooting a 308 sounded the same. This is actually a 338 Lapua can, which means you could shoot all the way down to 5.56, all the way to 338 Lapua. But then he blew my mind when we went over to this Glock here. Thought I was shooting a totally different suppressor. It was actually the same suppressor. We exchanged the back mount that takes like the proprietary brake or whatever they have. Went with a direct thread with a booster to run on a pistol, and we chopped off quite a bit of length on the front of the suppressor. So I was shooting this Glock suppressed, and I didn't know it was the same suppressor until he told me, and it totally blew my mind.
I want to shoot yours.
Another gun I've seen plenty of times but I've never shot was the Maxim 9, which is a pistol with a suppressor totally built into the same system. So legally it's like you're just buying a suppressor. The name makes me think maybe in the future they'll do other stuff. Maxim 9, good way to start. What about Maxim 45? That'd be kind of cool. Maxim 10, who knows? But I do like this gun actually quite a bit. I had to miss my first one out of excitement. And lastly, from SilencerCo, we've got an MP5. This was their Omega 9K. Very, very stubby suppressor and very, very quiet. Shooting full speed 9mm rounds here. Oh yeah, for that size, man. And lastly, visiting a suppressor manufacturer that I had actually not heard of prior, CGS Suppressors. They caught my attention with this guy right here. That is a 50 cal suppressor. That's an M107. I've seen M107 suppressed, not in person though, but with the QDL suppressor from Beretta. So seeing a different company do it, quite interesting. The 50 cal suppressor, it's a direct thread, whereas the Beretta is quick attach and quick detach on that proprietary brake from the M107. CGS Suppressors claims this one is a ton quieter than the QDL suppressor. So I went ahead and shot it the only way I know how, which is offhand. And I was really impressed with the way it just killed the 50 BMG report. Any other time, like the M82 I have, you shoot that thing, everyone within a good 5-mile radius knows a 50 just went off, or they think it was tannerite. This one killed the report totally, and then I stood back, watched someone else shoot it, and yeah, I was pretty impressed, but I don't know how to compare that with the QDL.
Oh, I'll be back.
I shot a 338 Lapua Magnum suppressor and took my ears off for that one, and I was quite impressed. Very much so hearing safe. So I don't know exact model on that one, but yeah, 338 Lapua Magnum can, shooting offhand, no sights, just about 30 yards away, just to get the idea. Oh wow, that's impressive. I just got built up a 338 precision rifle at home. I'm waiting on a can for it, and I never thought I'd be able to go ears off.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
That was a good shot.
These irons are accurate.
I'll do it. We zeroed it for you.
Next up, I don't know what cam this was either. I was shooting a bolt action 6.5 Creedmoor, and this one was very quiet as well. Again, don't know the exact can, but it is from CGS Suppressors.
Oh yeah, take off your ear pro for that one too.
Oh yeah. You definitely recognize that gun. That's an STI or a Staccato nowadays, but STI 2011 suppressed. What a pimpin' rig that is, man. So let me know what was your favorite gun. There's a few in here that I really want to get my hands on with the next couple months here for some video content. But you guys let me know what you guys like, maybe what you guys would like to see on this channel, and we'll see if I can make it work. But anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Some very fun stuff is on the horizon pretty soon here. Look at my video schedule for the rest of this year. But yeah, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.